Hey guys, King Nerf here, and today I'm very excited because I have a review of the Nerf Demolisher 2-in-1. So the Demolisher 2-in-1, it released like a week ago, and as soon as I figured out that it released, I went on Amazon and I ordered myself one. It was $40 US, and I think that it's not worth let me take that back. It is worth $40 US, but $40 US is a steep price to pay. So moving on to the blaster, it's got two really unique things. The first being the rocket launcher. And a lot of people have been wondering how you launch the missile rocket thingy. So how you do that is you push this thing forward, then you just simply push it back as hard as you can. And it's not feeling like an air tank or anything. What it does is it's like how much air you put into the plunger tube is how much air you get out. So the harder you push it, back in, the farther the missile is going to shoot. So it actually does come with two, and there's storage for a second one in the stock. So now moving on to sling points. There's one right here, like on all Nerf blasters, and then there's actually two up above the barrel. And the barrel takes end strike barrel attachments. So when you say you have like a recon barrel or something on there, those two sling points are pretty much useless because of the barrel. So another unique thing that it has is the banana clip. The banana clip is essentially an arced clip, and the banana part of it is not actually functioning. The darts stop when you load them in, like right before the curve, so there are not actually darts being stored in the banana part, which sucks, because if Nerf would have just figured out a way to have that could be a 15 dart mag or something. But since it's not a 15, I'd almost rather have an 18 dart stick mag than a 10 dart banana clip. So the paint job of this blaster, I personally love the white on orange. Some people don't like it because they think it looks tacky, but I personally love it. And I like the orange caution strips that are on the missile launcher. I think that's really cool. So now moving on to the stock. The stock, it does have space for an extra missile, and I guess you could use any of these holes as like sling points, but I wouldn't, because then you wouldn't be able to have the missile in there. Here's the rev trigger. It is a flywheel blaster, so you have to have the rev trigger pulled down in order to pull the actual trigger. So it won't pull, but then when I pull the rev trigger down, it'll pull just fine. And personally, I don't like the trigger pull. It's not that it's long, it's just hard. Like, if you're trying to shoot off really fast, you can't. I can honestly shoot off faster with the Raven than I can with this. Another thing that I don't like about this blaster is that I used it in a Nerf war yesterday, and I had a bunch of these in my mags. If you don't know what these are the elite suction darts. At the moment, they only come in packs of 30, which is not good. They actually usually do perform better than the regular streamline darts, or the streamline elite darts. But in this blaster, they get jammed a ton. I'm honestly not sure why, but they just do. I haven't had that problem in any other blasters before this one. So if you get this blaster, make sure that you're not using the suction darts. And if you are, you might want to just go with the regular elite darts in this one. So this button right here, this is the mag release. Push that in, clip comes out, and then clip just slides back in. There's a fairly good sized jam access door on the top, and it does click closed fairly nicely. It's better than the Raven's by far. I mean, the Raven is just like terrible when it comes to the jam door because it's always coming open. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah. So on the box, this gun said that it was getting 90-foot ranges, and comparing it to the Elite guns, which is supposed to get 75-foot ranges, it actually doesn't get as good of ranges as the Elite guns. It's shooting better than the Spectre Rev 5, but that's to be expected because that thing's not really that powerful. Yeah. So moving on to tactical rails. It's got one on the top up here, and then it's got another one on the sides, similar to the Ravens. You could put like a recon laser or something on that, or if you wanted to turn this into like I guess you could put the phone mount there if you wanted to go like super stealth and not even have to like put your head around a corner to see if anybody's back there. So yeah. It does not have any other tactical rails. I think it would have been cool if they had one on there, but I guess when you're launching the missile, whatever attachment was on there could fly off because you're pulling it back so hard. Yeah. So for $40 US, I actually would recommend getting this thing. It's pretty awesome, especially for HVZ, because I would imagine that the people who organize HVZ would have the missile. If a zombie gets hit by a missile, it would be like a one-shot kill, I'm guessing, because it's kind of like getting hit with a missile in real life. So yeah, one complaint that I have is this stock on my shoulder. Since this part is just like completely flat, it is very uncomfortable, and I mean like very uncomfortable. It's one of the least comfortable stocks Nerf has ever made, in my opinion, and I just don't like the stock. It feels pretty nice when you're holding it, but it is very front heavy. Now getting onto the functioning of the blaster. The blaster takes 4 AA's right here, which spin up the flywheels, and when you pull the trigger, a dart pusher in here pushes a dart into the flywheels, and then it shoots out. So yeah, that pretty much concludes my review of the Nerf Demolisher 2-in-1. One thing that I like is that they call it the Demolisher 2-in-1 instead of like the Demolisher CS10, like they normally call Nerf blasters. So for $40, I would definitely recommend picking one up. And yeah, as always, hit that red subscribe button if you want more great content, and keep it tuned.